Hello, or should that be good day? Well, it's the final week of Neighbours this week. I haven't watched the first one yet, Mondays. It has aired, but I'm going to wait a little bit to watch it. Before I do watch the last few episodes, I just wanted to show you that me being a fan is pretty genuine. I've watched it for a really, really, really long time, like many of you, and I've even got a few memories. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, so these are a lot of my old diaries that go back to the 90s. And within these diaries, I've got all sorts of cutouts that I took from magazines that I'm going to show you. We're going to start with 1991, which I've labelled as being a crap year. By the way, I was quite a big Home and Away fan at the time as well, so there's a few bits of Home and Away stuff in here too. Alright, so first up I've got a cutout of Todd Landers, who was played at the time by Christian Schmid. As we know, his character was he the grandson of Helen Daniels? I do have to think a little bit because I was quite young at the time of watching it then. But he was killed off, which was pretty sad. And I think, if my memory serves me right, famously Todd was at the centre of one of the first ever teenage pregnancy plots with his girlfriend Phoebe, who had a baby with him back in 1992 or something. So yeah, Neighbours was breaking barriers way back then as well. There's one of Jason and Kylie. To be honest, Jason and Kylie both look like they could have had this photo taken recently. They look pretty similar now, don't they? Moving over here a bit, there's Gail, who was Paul's first wife, and she was played by Fiona Cork. So yeah, Stefan Dennis, but for some reason I've cut him out. I don't know why or when. Over here we have Ian Smith, Harold, who's come back into it right now, which is great to see him. And do you remember a guy called Nick? He was played by Mark Stevens, and then he went on to be a kind of worship leader with a church. I don't know what he's doing now, but yeah, there's Harold Bishop. Another old one. This was actress Jessica Mushump, who played Sharon Davis, a sister of Bronwyn, who was dating Henry, played by Craig McLachlan. I don't remember a lot about Sharon's character. I think she was quite bubbly, but I don't recall her that well, but I certainly remember her. There's Alan Dale, Jim Robinson, with Beverly. That was something that I cut out again at the time and stuck in my diary. See, they were already making a big impact on me if I was cutting them out when I was a teenager. Wow, here's Guy Pearce and Annie Jones, Mike and Jane. Wow, it's so cool to see them. I'm looking forward to seeing Mike's return. He's coming back this week. There's another one of Sharon. And here's one of Kerry Mangle, Joe's wife. I only really remember her getting shot out in the bushes when she was on some sort of hunting rally. Again, I don't fully remember the storyline, but I certainly remember her too. She was the mom of Toby. This was Katie Landers, the younger sister of Todd, with the famous bouncer. Hey! Wow, I can't even remember what happened to Katie, where she went. I don't even recall her ever being mentioned after she left. So, did she even grow up on the show? I don't remember. I feel like she must have left as a child. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know, because I'm actually quite intrigued about that one. And no, Mike hasn't got a sort of Terminator face, it's just that the paper's gone really scrunched up here. It's old, but yeah, I really liked Mike. Oh, and there's Henry, Craig McLachlan. I don't think we'll be seeing him back for the finale, but yeah, I absolutely loved him. He was such a joker, a comedian. I remember him really, really, really well. He was an absolute staple of Ramsay Street back in the day, wasn't he, with that curly hair? Yeah, this is the thing that I find so sad already looking back at these, because it just shows how long Neighbours has been around and how long we've all been following the antics of the Ramsay Street residents in those 6 houses for nearly 4 decades. and it's just been a part of my life this whole time. I mean, many of you will agree that just can't really imagine life without the Ramsay Street residence. I feel like I'm losing extended family this week. Alright, moving on to my 1992 diary now. Okay, yeah, there's Rachel Friend who played Bronwyn, and of course Henry there. I really liked Bronwyn. I thought she had such a unique style. Very 90s. She used to wear her cardigan kind of tied around her waist in a knot, and I thought that was like the coolest fashion statement ever back in the day, and I was always trying to do it with my own cardigans, to try and tie them in a knot at the front with a pair of baggy jeans. I thought there was just no better look than that. Mad times, eh? So messed up. But there's the Alessi twins, Christina and Caroline. And one of those was dating Stephen Dennis in real life at the time. And yeah, I remember them really well. I really liked the Alessi twins. So yeah, they had some pretty wacky storylines for the while that they were in. I don't know how long they were in it. It must have been a good couple of years. But yeah, they were really cool at the time. I know. That's my parrot Charlie reacting. He's always listening to whatever I'm doing. He reacts to things, don't you, Charlie, hey? Okay, this is rather damaged as hell here, but it's a picture of Helen Daniels. It's just got really grimy. I mean, this has been stuck on my diary there for like 30 odd years. Alright, we're into 1993 now. We're going to start off with this little article. It's about Rebecca Imologlu, but she was in Home and Away at the time, but look at the title. Rebecca gets raunchy. This was when she was playing Sophie in Home and Away. Isn't she a stunner? She looked so amazing. I was like girl crushing on her all through the 90s. Yeah, wow. I wonder what she was getting raunchy about. Shame I didn't keep the article. Yeah, as I said, girl crushing. Here's some more pictures of Rebecca. But she was in Home and Away at the time, not Neighbours. Really pretty, wasn't she? Rebecca, you still look fabulous. You still look amazing. But yeah, I've got real memories looking at these pictures of Home and Away. I loved it. I'll be honest though, when Rebecca joined Neighbours, which must be, I don't know, is it 10 years? She first stepped out of the car and kind of walked towards Lassiter looking all dolled up. I didn't realise it was her. I didn't know that that was formerly Sophie from Home and Away. Until I saw the credits and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Rebecca Imologlu from Home and Away. Wow, because obviously it was a massive amount of time had gone since she'd left Home and Away. So to see her in Neighbours, and then I was just completely hooked immediately. And I've loved Therese Willis this whole time. She's been through so much. And I just kind of wish that we could have seen more of her story develop. But, you know, that's a shared sentiment, I'm sure, with many of the Neighbours fans. Oh yeah, I loved this photo of Craig and Rachel, who played Henry and Bronwyn. They were dating in real life for quite some time, and I thought it was so cool that they were dating in real life. What a lovely photograph. By the way, I've got a lot of Mark Owen from Take That cutouts in here as well, because I was mad crushing on him at that time. Like Beatles style, in love with him. He was pinned up all over my wall, all over my diaries. But yeah, so alongside Neighbours. All right, 1995. Apparently it was the year of excellence. But if you look in this, you are extremely nosy, invading my privacy, mum, or all of the above. Okay, yeah, I'm just looking for the Neighbours stuff. I know there's some stuff in here somewhere. My gosh, I'm seeing all sorts of other random stuff. Okay, Mark Little, who played Joe Mangle, apparently told a joke in a magazine. 2 cows in a field. One says to the other, "What do you make of this mad cow disease?" The other replies, "Don't look at me, I'm a giraffe. Thank you, cough." Okay. Yeah, I think mad cow disease was a thing back in the 90s. Neighbours Philip Ian Rawlings loses his wife Julie in June this year. Honestly, I can't remember what happens to Julie. Did she fall off a roof or something? Or did she die of an illness? I'll be honest, I am a fan and I did watch it, but I can't quite remember what happened to her. She was a bit psychotic, wasn't she? Remind me in the comments if you remember what happened to Julie Martin, because I actually Can't think. Oh, who remembers Cody Willis? She had a kind of husky voice, didn't she? She was fab. I really loved her. She got killed off as well, didn't she? Shot in some sort of siege. Yeah. Can't quite remember. So how was Cody related to Brad then? Was she his sister? Over here I cut out something about Jesse Spencer, who played Billy, talking about his favourite movie, Forrest Gump. Do you know what? My son's favourite movie is Forrest Gump as well. It inspired him to become a runner. Legit, yeah. He watched that film and then he just had a go at running himself. And he went on to become a really, really good runner at college. And he puts it all down to Forrest Gump initially. So, yeah, so Jesse Spencer was also a fan. Oh my gosh, what was the sheep's name that lived at the Kennedy house? Oh, my goodness, I can't remember. What was that sheep called? Oh my gosh. That's totally bugging me now. It's not Dolly the sheep. That was the sheep on TV that was being cloned, wasn't it? Oh gosh, what was that sheep called? Oh wow, Malcolm Kennedy and Danny. Well, well, there is a blast from the past. He was real good looking, wasn't he? I thought he was really fit. But yeah, that was Danny Stark. Oh, yeah, I remember them going out. Wow, how cool is that? There's something else here about Danny, with a question in a magazine: why didn't Brett celebrate his 18th birthday on the same day as his sister Danny, who was his twin? Unsolved soap mystery. Well, I don't remember it being a drama at the time about them not celebrating their birthday together. And it doesn't look like I cut out the answer to the question either. It could be that Neighbours didn't answer that question. Sometimes we do see continuity errors, don't we? Oh well, there's Mark and Annalise. I remember seeing her in an episode of Ally McBeal about 10 years later. Lou waves farewell to his daughter. I thought his daughter was Lauren. Yeah, I don't remember this. I don't remember her. Really? I really loved Lee Carpenter. I know a lot of people were wondering about why he hasn't come back for the final. I believe it's because Tom Oliver, who plays him, is unwell. He hasn't been well enough to go back to acting. I absolutely loved him and Harold together. They were such a double act on Ramsay Street. So many laughs and dramas. Yeah, he was fab. I love Lee Carpenter so much. Carl and his affairs, hey. He had two pretty significant affairs, both with younger women. This one was Sarah, but it was Susan who actually really shone throughout this saga, especially with this infamous slap where she whacked Carl across the face for his betrayal. You can watch it on YouTube. It's incredibly dramatic. Even after all this time, it still moves me. And I really think Jackie Woodburn absolutely excels at dramatic acting. We see it since then. We've seen it many times, right up to recently when she returned from Hendrix's death and broke down, and the way she got upset with Carl about losing all the money. She really is absolutely outstanding at dramatic acting. And I'm going to miss her. I'm going to miss both of them so, so much. There's a random photo of Billy, and looks like it's Amy. Wow, that must be at the Logie Awards, Logies, however you pronounce it, in Australia. Wow. I loved Billy and Anne together. There I've cut out another photo of Billy. I must have liked him a little bit. I don't remember really having a crush on him, but there's a 98 cast photo. So we've got Madge, Libby, Harold. Can't quite tell who that woman is in the white blouse in the middle. Yeah, Toadie at the bottom there in yellow. Amy. Oh my gosh. Memories, eh? Ooh, Carl and Sarah had viewers gripped. Yes, they did. There's John Travolta on the left there, by the way. Wow. Yeah, that storyline was something else. Carl and his affairs, hey? Sarah, Izzy. I don't think there was anybody else. But yeah, big time stories those were. Yeah, thanks for going through all of that with me. I'm thinking now that it's going to be time to start watching this last week. Last week I was feeling pretty emotional, the penultimate week, and now we really are on the final week. This time next week, Neighbours won't be on anymore. And I actually do feel really, really emotional about it. Like many of you, I just can't imagine not going to Ramsay Street every day. Like, even if I go on holiday, I will come back and I will have recorded Neighbours and I'll catch up on it. It's just the purest escapism. It's made with such warmth and heart, and even sometimes when the storylines are kind of predictable and you can guess what's going to happen, you just really feel for the characters and you feel like you're with them and that you're right there in their environment. I'm so sorry and so sad that it's ending. And whilst I look forward to the final episodes, this is going to be a really tough week.